Hi there, I'm Kelly from Fearless Homeschool, and today I'm going to show you a really easy way to schedule your homeschool so that you get everything done, but you still keep your flexibility. It will also teach your children to set goals and manage their time well, which is essential for further education and for everything in life, really. There's also printable template pages that you can download from Fearless Homeschool to help you implement it for yourself. If you're watching this video on Facebook or YouTube, there will be a link with the video, so make sure you head on over and download it. Now, there's two parts to this process, so let's get started on part one. In the first part, you'll make a checklist for each child and for yourself. Now, we've been doing this since about 2010 because it works. Each child makes their own checklist of the work they need to complete that week, and they check off each item as they do it. So it's really simple, but really effective too. So it's visual, we can see at a glance where we're all up to, and checking it off as we go gives all of us a sense of achievement that helps to keep us going as well. You know, there's never the feeling of having a huge, overwhelming list to do. So this list is for myself. This is the stuff that I facilitate or that a child needs 100% of my attention to do, although there's lots more things that I help out with. So this is how I know that I'm doing everything I need to, because with 5 children, it can be really, really difficult to keep track of everything. Now, how do we decide how many squares to put up? It depends on the resource. So for a maths workbook, it's usually 1 square per page. For other things like Grammar Galaxy, it might be 1 square per lesson. For things like MOOCs and online courses, it might be a square for each half-an-hour session. For Story of the World down here, I've got 1 square for reading the chapter, 1 square for doing the activities that go with the chapter, and 1 square for filling in our Book of Centuries. So it's pretty flexible overall. My tip is to always put the maximum number of squares that you can without being ridiculous, because it feels good to cross off lots. It feels like you're really getting somewhere. Now, this one behind me is Gabrielle's list. She's 14 at the moment. So she works mostly independently. My main job is to help her find resources, to discuss the stuff that she's learning with her, and to be a bit of a cheerleader sometimes when things get difficult or a bit boring. So she fills this out on Sunday or first thing Monday morning, and she just starts on it on Monday and works her way through it. My 13-year-olds are the same. They do it all by themselves. We've been doing this so long that it's just automatic. Even my youngest, my 9-year-old, does his own list and works through it nearly independently. So I don't have to chase them around or schedule for them. That's their job because they're capable of it. And that's what we're aiming for in the long term, for them to be capable of it all by themselves. Now, often my children will do extras in some areas. So once they've crossed off all of their squares, they'll start adding in stars just next to it. This also seems to work really well because they love seeing how much they've done. It looks pretty good when something has 15 stars next to it, and it's visual proof too that they've worked really hard that week. Now, just checklists, so just doing this for everyone, worked really well for years. But then as my children got older and had more work to do, we started to run into some problems. Now, the main problem was that we would get to Thursday or Friday and we would still have lots to do. And it was all piling up at the end of the week, and I would get frustrated because I had all the children bombarding me non-stop with, can you help me with this? Or, oh, but I can't wait, I need to get it done now. So I tried getting them more motivated early in the week. I tried giving out more reminders, but the problem didn't shift by itself. I needed something better, and something especially that didn't rely on me nagging all the time. And after a few months of frustration and a few experiments, I came up with part 2. So let's go through that now. Part 2 is the flexible weekly schedule. Now, I don't do rigid schedules. As soon as I get a schedule that tells me exactly what to do for each hour, I immediately come up with ways to rebel against it. And if I know exactly what I'll be doing every Thursday at 10 AM, it just makes me want to run away. This system, though, works really well for us because it's more of a guide. So we'll go through it. So as you can see, we've got each day of the week listed up here, and each day is broken up into morning, afternoon, and evening. So each week we note down everything that can't be changed. We've got things like my husband's shifts at work, Gabrielle's drama group, and we also note down any other activities or outings that we've booked in, like the big science competition that we did this week. So then we know what our week looks like, and the best times to get our work done. Now, everything on my checklist gets added to this schedule. When I started doing this, I would overschedule. So I'd cram too much into one area and we wouldn't get it all done. And then I came up with the idea of color coding the tasks by the time that they take. So if you see down here, blue is 15, purple is 30 minutes, and pink is 60 minutes approximately. So by doing that, I can see at a glance whether our workload is actually realistic. And I can make sure that we're not doing 2 one-hour tasks back to back. We can mix it up with smaller tasks. Now, I don't do this list from scratch every week. I leave last week's up and I just alter it. So it only takes a few minutes to do. Now, the best thing about this is that it's really flexible. So if we cover a really interesting country in geography on Monday morning and we spend 2 hours doing that, I can simply wipe something else off the Monday list and move it to another day. So I could take, say, grammar for the well-trained mind from here, and I could put it on Wednesday because we're not doing grammar on Wednesday and the workload isn't that heavy. This is why we use a whiteboard, so we can move it around. Now you could use paper or a blackboard or even do it electronically, but I suggest doing it by hand for a really important reason, and that's visibility. So this is in our dining room. We sit next to it at the table. We can see it from the kitchen. We walk past it dozens of times a day because it's in the middle of our house. And because of that, we don't forget to look at it until Thursday and then scrabble around frantically playing catch up because doing that is not much fun at all. So if you decide to do this, then make sure it is very public and always visible. So there it is. I know it's not fancy or complicated, but that's exactly why it works for us. Everyone can see it and understand it. Everyone has ownership over their own part and responsibility for it. So they're all learning how to manage their own time well. And it's flexible, so it fits in with life really well. Now, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, please like this video and subscribe or follow me for more homeschooling tips and ideas. Share it with your friends, and don't forget to download your free planning templates from Fearless Homeschool. You can also sign up for my free email course to help you get started in homeschooling, or watch lots of free workshops. There's lots and lots of freebies over there for you, so make sure you check them out. I hope this has been incredibly helpful to you and helps you to get everything done without you feeling trapped in a boring and restrictive schedule. If you start doing it, I'd love to see it, so make sure you send me a picture. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.